Hi, so in this video, just going to go over some of the functions in Google Docs you'll need for completing the SAC. So, firstly, just make sure that when you are completing it, that you do use the Google Doc provided on the SAC and you're not downloading it or doing anything like that. So all the work is there and live so I can see it as well. Alright, so make sure that you are doing that. Firstly, just type into it as you would, so something like that, okay, just like anything else. So it's just like a normal SAC, you're allowed your CAS and your open book. So just make sure, answer all questions by highlighting your answer. So this is for our multiple choice, okay. Just choose the response correct, and nothing will be taken off for incorrect answers as normal. So this is an example of a question you might have. The function y is equal to 3x squared plus 1 has a domain and range of. Remember, domain is all the x values, range is all the y values. Hopefully we notice this is moved up 1 from our normal x squared. So that means our domain is going to be negative infinity to infinity and our range is going to be 1 to infinity. Okay, so to highlight, you just go over it like this, okay? Make sure you don't go too far or else it highlights the whole question, okay? So just whatever there, okay? The highlight colors should be right next to your text up here. Highlight and then just pick a color that I can easily see through. Don't pick black, okay? Can't see the answer, alright? Make sure that you do pick, I don't know, this green will be fine or anything I can see through, okay? And make sure you only have it for one answer on each question. So that's how you would go about answering a multiple choice question. So here we have another example of what a question might look like. We've got matrix notation. A dilation factor of 4 from the y-axis is given by this matrix, and a reflection about the x-axis is given by this matrix. Okay, so write the composition matrix for a dilation of a factor of 2 from the y-axis, a reflection in the x-axis, followed by a translation of 2 units down. So with this, I just want to see a couple of steps. I don't need to see every single step, so I do suggest make sure that you do it on a bit of paper first, and then we're going to insert our matrices once you've done it. So with this, okay, we're using this program here, CodeCogs. I've already got it open in a tab here, okay. That's what I was doing before. So what we need to do is, you'll see all this is sort of like a math editor. So it makes images out of math equations, those kinds of things. So here, what we're looking at specifically is matrices. So that's this here. Click on this, alright, and it will ask what dimensions you want. So first we're going to have a 2 by 2. Okay. You'll notice here, this bit here, this is our top row of our matrix. Okay, and this is where you put the bottom row. You put first number here, so if I put a 2 and a 0 there, they appear like that. Okay, if you put it right next to it, it'll end up with 20. Alright, and these two lines here represent a new row. Alright, so we wanted a dilation factor of 2 from the y-axis and a reflection in the x-axis. So I'm going to combine these and it will look like this. Okay. Yes, just double checking. Okay, so it'll look something, if it recognizes my one here, for some reason it's not. There we go. That was weird, never had that happen. Just make sure that you are. Just double checking, you might need to do something like I just did in case it doesn't work. Alright, so all you do, copy image, put it in here. Okay, next we'll want to make our xy that we're going to be multiplying by. So when you want to start again, just highlight it all, backspace. Okay, and we'll start again. And we want a 2 by 1, 2 rows, 1 column. Okay, and this is going to be our X, Y matrix. Okay, so you'll see that there. Copy, paste, and we want to plus this to our translation that happens, which is 2 units down. Okay, so with this is going to be another 2 by 1 if you remember how to do this. Okay, and silly me, forgot to delete the previous one. Okay, so make sure you do delete the previous one and then write 2 by 1. Okay, and we're going down 3, so this will be 0, negative 3. Then just copy image, Control V. Okay, or paste, right click and paste. Okay, so this is an example of the first step of how you would go about this, and then hopefully you remember the second step is combining all these matrices, so multiplying these, supposed to highlight, multiplying these two together here, and then plussing it to our third one, and just do that on a new line like that. Okay, so just make sure you are showing a couple of steps there. So that's how you insert matrices. So I'm just going to push this so all of our questions on the next page. Okay, so when you are editing it, you will realize that everything moves down, so just make sure you're scrolling down. Everything should stay in the right order at least. So this one, we've got to sketch this function. Consider the function fx is equal to x plus 3 squared. So this is our parabola that's moved 3 to the left. Okay, so with this, just make sure that you are sketching points accurately. So just make sure that with this one that you might get your x and y intercepts correct. So that's like the main thing that I am looking out for. So with this, when x is equal to 0, alright, we've got 3 squared, so our y-intercept is going to be 9, okay? And our x-intercept is going to be 0 because it's moved to the left 3. So how we do this, and I've given instructions here, double click to edit the Google drawing and use the scribble tool, okay? And then we use the text box feature to label key points. Okay, as I said, it doesn't need to be perfect, just needs to be accurate. And as you'll see, mine will probably not be anywhere close to perfect. But so I double clicked, comes up with this. Okay, so there's some different tools. We've got line, arrow. Okay, what we probably want is the scribble one. This just means it will show whatever you get on your graph. So here, 9's about here. So I'm just going to do some key points. Ooh, that's horrible. Okay, 3 is here. Alright, so that's our y-intercept that we want to go through. That's the x-intercept. So just need to try and draw a parabola that meets these criteria. So yet again, I know they're not going to be perfect. Okay, so just try and get them somewhat alright. So just make sure, if you do want to delete the last thing you do, just undo there. So if I wanted to have another go, okay, can have another go. So I can, if you're doing this with an iPad or something like that, it's probably going to be much better where you can use your finger. I'm not very good with the mouse. Alright, that left hand side is so much better. Okay, so but I suggest doing the right and left. So yet again, doesn't matter if it's perfect, so I'll just go with whatever I have here as long as it goes through. Whoa, that didn't go through that point. I might try from the top. So this is why it's important to have a play around with it first, so you have a bit of a practice before you sack. Okay, so that will do. It is pretty ugly, but I can see it's a parabola, and just make sure you label your key points. Text box here. Okay, so this here, this is 0, 9. Okay, another text box here. Okay, showing that this should be -3 and 0. Oh, if I type 0. Okay, so just make sure that they are correct and is semi-accurate. Okay, yet again, I'm not going to be too fussy as we are doing it online and not by hand. And then just make sure save and close. Okay, so you'll see it comes up here. Alright, now we've got a couple of questions. State the domain of fx as well as its range. So you don't need to put this as an equation probably, so you can do this probably all without the equation tool. But so our domain, you can just put this is equal to, you can scroll up, this will be -infinity to positive infinity. Actually, we will need our equation tool because we've got infinities here. So new equation, so we're going to say our domain is equal to, and it's going to go from -infinity to positive infinity. So infinity, I imagine, will be in trying to find where it is. Might need to go to insert symbol here for infinity. Oh no, here it is. Okay, math symbols here. So -infinity to, and then I like to just go over it, Control C, Control V, and it stops messing around with having to try and find it each time. So that's your domain. You can press enter to finish, go on a new line, and then you have to insert new equation. If you don't have the, I suggest you can put view, and you can have show equation toolbar, so it's always there. Or if it's not there, you just go insert and equation. And if you're looking for some special characters, they're also there. Okay, so that's how you would write your domain, and the range here is from 0 to infinity. So our range, so new equation, r is equal to 0 to, and because it was the last thing I copied, I can just press Control V, okay, or you can right click and paste. Alright, so the same sort of thing here. So define the inverse function here. So with this, we're going to be showing at least 2 key steps, so just insert new equation. So one key step here is swapping x and y. So we'll start off with x is equal to y plus 3. And then if you want to do subtext and all that, you got maths operations, okay, that there, squared. Alright, so that's one. Okay, yet again, you'll do this by hand, and it just says, just make sure you show at least 2 steps. So I want to see another step there, maybe of like it halfway being rearranged, and then the answer. Okay, so do make sure that you are doing that. So that's essentially everything you're going to need to use. The equation toolbar, how to do Google drawings. Hopefully your graph will be a lot prettier than mine, and just highlighting and using this here. And this is going to be linked into the SAC as well. So yet again, these are some examples of what the questions might look like. So it gives you a bit of an idea of what you'll need to do. Alright, so hopefully this helps with preparing and how to use everything, so it doesn't take as much time or as many questions back to me if you are. Okay, so good luck with that, and hopefully this works out well for you.